tolerators. This is To All the Men I've Tolerated Before with Natalie Katona, your weekly look at everyday misogyny. Well, today, it's just one of those days that Lizzie McGuire was singing about in Rome. Today, we have a dream guest with the legendary, gorgeous Kat Sass. The list of talents Kat has is so long, I am going to do my humble best to list them all. Drag artist, makeup artist, costume designer, teacher, TV and film personality, event host, the list goes on and on, so we will just let them have the floor. Kat, thank you so much for agreeing to this on a very hot day in Alabama.
Oh my gosh, you are such an angel. I'm so happy to be here. And yes, I did agree to this when I hadn't slept for about a month and a half. But I stand by my decision making and really want to double down on that.
No, I love that. I lured you in with a tackle box full of tacky earrings, and I was like, "Want to be my friend?"
And I looked through them and I said, "Why, yes, I do."
Since you are a new friend here, why don't you give the tolerators some background information on you?
Oh yeah, like where I came from,
All
that
of it.
kind of jazz.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am a first generation American. My dad's from Athens, Greece. My mom is from Dallas, Texas. So I always say I'm a Greek Texan. Both of my parents were in showbiz, and I followed suit in like a really kind of annoyingly predictable way. But not a nepo baby because my parents, they never got their. I mean, they got their shit together. They're kind of amazing, but they're not business people. You know what I mean? And I'm from everywhere and from nowhere. I've traveled a lot, and I've kind of everywhere I've gone, I've been everyone's friend and no one's friend. Like I make friends really easily, but I don't really get close with people because I've always been like a little bit I don't know, a little bit odd. And I think it's just because I have autism. I don't know.
That's what I usually say. I go, it has to be some sort of tism.
But like, who doesn't have it now is my question actually. So, no, but my dad has it. It runs in the family. There's a lot of artistic genius on that side and a lot of like socially strange people as well. Or let's say less conventional, shall we?
Yes, here we go.
So yeah, so I sort of made my way through the world. I came to Chicago to go to college, and I was like, do you know what? This place is amazing for making things. As soon as I went to college for acting, I was like, oh, I like acting. I hate everything surrounding acting. I hate auditioning for weird old men who keep calling me fat. Sir, you're fat. Like, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like, dude, shut the fuck up. And I also didn't like plays, and I was like, why do I hate plays so much? And then I realized they were all written by men. So I was like, and there's always like one girl, and she's either sexy and dead, or a mom and dead. And so I was like, I don't think I like this as much as I thought. And I had this amazing professor named Kęstutis Nakis, who's a performance artist. And he grew up with like Klaus Nomi and Ann Magnuson and all those crazy kids in New York. And he was like, hey, do you like to know about performance art? And I was like, why, yes. And then I realized that I could be like a goblin. And I could be a goblin who was able to make whatever kind of art I wanted, whatever I fancied. And I didn't have to wear any ugly clothes that somebody else gave me because, gasp, I wasn't a size 4. So they were like, here's this poncho. And you're like, whoa, okay. And I didn't have to be directed by a dude who was like, just be louder or whatever. And I could sort of be my own director, be my own producer, be my own costume designer, be my own creator of myself. And that's kind of like how I sort of made that foray into drag. I was a very serious, but like, what is a serious performance artist? I was a very serious performance artist, and I started doing performance art at 18. So I've been doing it for, gosh, a long time.
Years. We don't need to put a number on them, but years. I Oh my gosh, there's so much to just dive into. First off, you said goblin and it's Thursday, so now I have to ask, do you or anyone in your life, do you play the Dungeons and the Dragons?
No, I'm not that kind of nerd. I'm
No.
so sorry to say. Like, I don't do anything related to board games. I don't do anything related to Harry Potter. I don't do anything related to these games that you play. I don't know. What am I gesturing?
Video games.
Video games. Yeah, I don't do any of that. No, whenever I'm not on and working, I just sit quietly and stare at a wall. And that's all I do, or sit in a bathtub and stare at a wall. But I hear it's really cool. And is that the thing with the paladin?
Yes.
Okay, I've been told over and over again that I'm a paladin.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what it means though.
I mean, honestly, when men are paladins, they are so cocky and just like arrogant and you
Oh
hate
no.
them.
Oh
But
no.
I'm like, what are we? So yeah, it must be that you're so sure in yourself and powerful because when men are paladins, they're just like, I get to do and say everything, and it's my job to make sure that we know what we're doing. So I only ever run
Oh.
into male paladins.
Well, listen, a bunch of men called me that. So, and they
See,
also, it makes them so nervous that I've been confident my whole life.
see. Uh,
So,
I feel I feel like young people, this is just advice corner at this point. I feel that young people in the Gen Z and beyond generations have to stare at the wall more often because they very much need stimulation all the time. And they'll be like, are we gonna da 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 da? And I was like, have you ever considered just watching all the episodes of Lost in one day? Or like I hear that Love is Blind is in every country. Have you just thought of watching around the world Love is Blind?
oh my God, I started Love is Blind Grease and I was like, oh no, it is blind.
Yeah.
It was rough. I don't watch, that's the other thing. I don't watch reality TV. Like, everyone, I have nothing to talk with anyone about. I don't know what's going on. I,
Well, I do remember because when I am at someone else's like event, I very much do not say anything about the podcast or myself really. And must have said, well, Natalie runs a podcast. And then I have to like sheepishly go, it's about everyday misogyny. Because you never know when someone male centered is going to yell at me.
does that happen to you a lot? Do you get
Yeah.
yelled at? What do people say?
People usually say, like one time I was in a writing class and I made a joke. I wasn't even talking about the generalization of men. And someone said, well, actually, women have told me a lot of times that I too am too loud and too abrasive. And all of the men that I've ever collaborated with have been very nice to me. And I'm like, okay.
Cool. So because they were, I guess all is well.
All is well. And I like possibly 5 to 8 men. I know it's not more than 8, but I like possibly at least 8. And one of them is named Chad. So, like, I feel like I've done the work to be palatable. Why are you screaming at me?
That always cracks me up. That's got to be really like tough when women are like, "How dare you take this stance? I have a husband, and sometimes he brings in the groceries." And you're like, "Oh, okay."
And it's literally always that. It's all, and I have friends who I'll voice memo as soon as it happens. And I'm like, once again, I've offended someone's idea of marriage. And I was just
Well,
existing.
it's so, oh, absolutely. And the thing is, like, here you are in your own polite corner, just talking about misogyny, which is a very real thing. I mean, my God, women's rights are being stripped away from us in this country left and right. And all you're doing is having discussions about it. And people are like, hey, maybe you should die.
Yes, honestly. And,
Trust me, I know, honey, I know.
yeah. And so when I said in my very sheepish way, I talk about everyday misogyny every once in a while, you said, well, I'm a proud misandrist.
I am. I am a, yeah, I'm a proud misandrist, absolutely. And that's honestly, it's the only reason why is all of my experiences ever and always with men. So that's it. I have no other biases to inform this.
It's literally everything that I've ever had to endure by men and then also centuries of history. And I don't know, maybe I am goofy for being upset about it.
How dare you talk about a topic such as this? That who does this affect even really?
Certainly not women or children or marginalized voices.
I know. It really, like, it gets me. It really does. I mean, if you just look at I don't even know if you want to get into the news at all, but if you look into what's going on in the news at any given moment, it's like, this is a horror. This is a horror show.
Yes. And then you and I are funny people. I'm actively trying to be a comedy writer. And part of my process was like, well, I'll do that thing where you write 10 ish monologue jokes based on the news every day. And then I went, no, that makes me want to kill myself.
Oh, I can't. No.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep. Okay, so can I tell you, while we were working on the movie, which we did together, you and I, so I was there for like 6 weeks or something, and about 4 or 5 weeks in, I had a new assistant, and she's lovely. Her name is Kaylin. I adore her. She came in, and she was like looking down at her phone, and she like couldn't look away from her phone. And mind you, I had been working 80 hours, 90 hours, 100 hours a week. I was like crazed at this point. I didn't even have the bandwidth to like eat more than one meal a day, to sleep more than 5 hours. I was like, let's just get this done. And I was like, what's going on? And she was like, oh, it's the news. And oh, I was like, what's happening? And she started telling me, and I was like, she said like 10 words, and I was like, that's enough.
That's enough.
I'm good. That's enough news. I don't need to know.
Put that away.
Put that down.
Walk away from it.
I'm not a micromanager in the least, but I was like, I think for our sanity, we both have to put our phones down, and we just have to keep costuming this movie.
And we have to just keep smiling so no one knows that we looked at the news.
Yeah, and somebody would be like, why? What's going on? And I'd be like, no, it's
Nothing.
not for us. It's not for us. It's not for us right now.
That was so nice of you to act like you and I were like coworkers on the movie when I just showed up for 2 days and said hello to everyone.
Like a queen.
Oh, thank you.
Like a princess.
Oh my gosh. And I was like, everyone's stop has to be like so happy that I'm here because like people are going to think that I'm like Susan Sarandon's like long lost niece or something, and I'm but a girl.
Dress for the job you want. Listen, my ideal job is to show up and do nothing and say hi to everybody. I love that. That sounds great.
Honestly, it's what I did when I worked in theater.
That's what I do in drag.
Yes. Yes. Well, no, go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean,
That's it.
pretty much.
Well, let's talk about drag because I don't know if I went through this when we were together, but I live in Valparaiso, Indiana, but a train ride away from Chicago. However, I just recently moved from Dayton, and Dayton, Cincinnati, and Columbus, Ohio had like a really great drag scene, and I was very, very attached to my queens. And now I'm in Cornfield, Indiana, USA, and I can't even find a sequin. Like, I would love a wig, a dramatic eyeliner, something, and there's nothing. So let's talk about drag because I miss it so much.
I mean, drag is something. I'll tell you what. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I love it. I hate it. I love it. It's amazing. I mean, there's a lot of politics wrapped up in it. I started doing drag in 2012, and I was not even allowed. I was one of the leads. So the way that I ended up doing drag was really random. I was, of course, a performance artist, so I was going around doing my fuck shit, and just making a mess, causing chaos, and I had built a name for myself. It was really cool. And one of my friends from college had started a queer theater company that did these parody jukebox Disney musicals with
Yes.
with modern music, all live sung, all drag. And I had been to see a couple of their shows, and I was like, now this is awesome. This is amazing. I'm like, this is not boring. Fuck David Mamet. I want to see, and I stand by that. You can lift that out and just, if you only have one quote from this whole episode, fuck David Mamet.
Yeah,
It's
I'll make it
perfect.
my text tone.
Thank you. Fuck you, David Mamet. Um, but instead of that, you have like all of these like queer people um, singing their hearts out, wearing crazy shit, and just having this wonderful time. And it was very ragtag, but it was very like hardworking and just like bootstraps kind of situation. And he called me in to audition for the Queen of Hearts. It was an Alice in Wonderland parody, and he was like, and he was like, you know, this part was written for a man to play, but I can't help but think that you would be a good fit for this. And like maybe that would have offended a different person, but I throughout my theatrical career played a lot of gender bendy roles, even though I never really saw my even when I did Shakespeare, I played Viola in Twelfth Night, who plays a man the whole time, you know. And so I was very like, I was, I was nervous about it because I was like, I don't think I'm allowed to be a drag queen, but I really want to make new friends. I really want to sing. I really want to sing with other people. Like one thing about me is I love collaborating. I will always seek out collaboration. So I was like, let me go try this. So I auditioned and immediately they cast me and we were off to the races. The shows were successful. That show ran for a year, I think. And then we did Snow White and the Seven Drag Queens. And that ran for like 8 years. The last one I did was in 2019. And so it was, and of course I played the evil queen in it. So they had me, when I look back on it, it's kind of curious, right? They had me play all these evil villain roles as a woman playing a man playing a woman. Um, and and I was the bad guy and I was the woman in the show. I think that's kind of interesting now that I think about it. And these shows, honey, they were sold out. Like we had, gay men and women and bachelorettes would show up and just like sing along, sing their hearts out. And I had some drag queens show up and watch the show, and I think it was Kimchi, Valentine, Valentine, Valentine. Oh God, what is her last name? Some queen named Valentine, Shea Coulee, and T Rex, who no longer does drag. And they showed up and watched the show at one of the shows. I think it was Snow White. And afterwards, they were like, "You should come do drag." And I was like, "Oh, I don't think they wouldn't even put me on the poster for this show." I was helping to sell these shows out, and they were like, "Listen, we're just going to put the real drag queens on there." And
Oh.
mind you, some of these queens I worked with honey, they were not cute. And they were on the poster before me, babe. Um, and so I went and I started doing drag at Berlin Nightclub. I did it under my real name because I didn't even think that I could have a chance at this, you know? And the reason that I kept going is because it made a lot of men mad. That's actually like had men been like, "We accept you. You're welcome here, diva. Have a great time. Be in this space as long as you want to." I probably would have stopped.
Yes.
But
Defiance makes my heart beat.
Scorpios run on spite.
Yes.
Um, no, but and honestly, all that is to say, like, as much as I joke, I truly fell in love with the art form. I love drag. I love it. It is such an incredible art form in which you make yourself. You're not beholden to any rules. You're not beholden to how you look. You're not beholden to your gender. you're not beholden to your shape or size or anything, because you can make yourself into anything you want to. It's this amazing permission to be your own self creation. And I think that's what I absolutely loved about it. And, to be honest, on the other hand, the people that made my drag career too were also men. And, you know, it was, they were the ones that like pushed me forward for jobs and pushed me forward for opportunities and gave me opportunities where there weren't before. I did a lot of firsts as a person presenting femme who could be described as a woman, and it was powerful, and it was really hard. It was like being a quarterback, but having no protection. That's what it felt like. That's literally what it felt like. Even though I was protected in a lot of ways, it still felt very raw and scary and like naked. And it was definitely like I don't know, it's been a really tough journey. I, I never considered quitting until like 2020. And then and then a bunch of times, I have wanted to quit, but Sass, who I view as separate from myself, has continued to like give me courage, give me opportunities, give me gifts, and I try and be good to that little critter that lives inside of me as well. And I try and be gentle with Sass, because I made her on accident. It was like the opposite of whatever. It was like the opposite of Frankenstein's monster. I literally just made her on accident. If that makes any sense.
I feel like a lot of things end up being by accident for me too.
Oh yeah? How so?
Well, so this podcast was supposed to originally just literally be about men that I had dated or had to have interacted with. And I had a co-host at the time, and then she quit. And then I was like, oh, I guess I gotta like either quit or figure it out. And I was like, well, what if I, instead of being mad at the men I know, I'm mad at all of them?
Yeah, because you'll run out of men that you know.
True, especially now when when I actively don't seek their company. Like, and like, I think it's so transparent to be like, a lot of men helped me along in my career, because the reason why I forgive all of those women who scream at me that they know at least one good man is because, you know, we have to be enmeshed in them. I mean, it was a man who picked me up out of obscurity at a theater event that got me out of teaching and put me on my theater and performance track.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we can thank them and love them, but it also stands to reason that why are they there to be able to do that?
Right.
Because of the structures put in place that put them there.
Right.
Because the cushion of safety that they have to be like, yes, I choose you, I help you.
Yeah. And then the lack of self awareness that they have, because the guy who did pluck me out of obscurity from teaching was one of the most insecure individuals I had ever met. So anytime I was charming or pretty or talented or whatever, he was like, I just don't understand why you're choosing to ruin my day today. And I was like, I was breathing, but okay.
Wow, he sounds like fun.
Yeah. And and I think that that's also how like things happen kind of when you're not intending them to, because it's like I almost don't want I'm so grateful and also not grateful at all for his position in my life.
I get it.
Yeah. It's hard. And I can't imagine in the year of 20 in our Lord and Savior Chapel Roan's 2025 that being a drag artist, it the thing that always got me about the drag community is that it truly is a community. And when I was going to my drag brunches and my drag shows in Dayton, my ticket price usually went to whatever charity they were partnering with that day.
Mhm.
And like it was like the local humane society for dogs, the food pantries, like they would just find them. And then I would be like, I didn't even know that this was in my neighborhood, let alone next door. And there's such a sense of community within the queer community and drag that I think that's why it gets such vitriol. And I think it's because like the heteronormative complex that we find ourselves in our current culture is so filled with like shame and guilt that they look at people just like having fun in an outfit that they themselves created and they're like, I hate that because that's never going to be me, but it could be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there there have been so many people that I brought into drag or done drag for that would have never otherwise seen drag, and they found themselves having a wonderful time, and they found themselves feeling really just like connected. And I think that that's what people are looking for. I don't think that you know I and I could say a lot of things about the drag community and whatever that means because I've experienced a lot of positive and a lot of very negative things from quote unquote community. Um, and so I think I have a pretty, like, I would say, pragmatic view of what community is for queer people. Being, an elder queer myself and having been through the ringer, but what I can say about us as imperfect as we are, as wild and difficult as we are, we do try to find each other, and we do find each other, and we do try to help each other. I think by and large, and I think that that's what sets us apart, and I do think that that's might be part of what lends to that sort of thing that you were talking about people who feel like they can't take part in it. I think that's the thing. Like, you know, it's always been peculiar to me how a section of our society will sexualize drag. Like, it's not. I have seen thousands of drag performances, and I've never seen anything more sexual than anything Britney Spears has ever done. Maybe some grotesqueries, but you would never see that. You would never see that outside of a weird little hole in the wall nightclub where you're going to go look for grotesqueries, and people don't even do shock jock art like that right now anymore, especially with how crazy things are. So you would be very hard pressed, like, and to find things that were like untoward in drag, like, and especially as we, I hate to say it, as we become a less literate and educated society, which is intentionally being done to us and not the fault of the people that are experiencing it. But as that's happening, the references are becoming narrower and narrower and narrower and narrower. And the references, when you see drag, they're becoming more just incredibly purely topical. So when you get that, like, I'm sorry, you're just not going to get a bunch of offensive shit. You're just not. You're gonna get a cute little Sabrina Carpenter joke. You're gonna get a little Toodaloo, Taylor Swift Starbucks joke. You're gonna get a little whatever, what have you. So, and like every society in the history of the world ever has had clowns. So it's sort of funny that we're trying to destroy ours in this day and age. And, not and the same goes for like people in the public eye in general who make funny ha-has and who entertain. Like, they're, I think it's a miracle that artists get anything done at all right now. You know what I mean? Like,
No, honestly.
I just think it's a total miracle that anything gets done at all because there's no money in it. And I know I'm sounding like a doomsday person, but I'm not. I'm not trying to. It's just the state of things right now. It'll change again.
No, it's true. I finished writing my first pilot this year, and I had my friend read it to be like, I need to know if I go, I was trying to be so gentle and so funny about sex work, but I need you to read it to see if I was being tacky and hurtful. And I was like, it's that my main female character is broke and she has to move back home because she's in a bunch of credit card debt and all of it. So she keeps to upset her older mom and her aunt making feet pick jokes. And then someone says something along the lines of Donna's oldest is on and whatever I made up for Feet Finder. And she's taking the entire family to the Bahamas this year, but Donna doesn't know how to feel about it. And then my character goes, does everyone have better feet than me? Her mom's like, what? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you did that. And I go, well, I didn't do it well.
Well, God, I get it.
Yeah,
You know,
because it's either I don't want to hurt a marginalized group ever, but I do crave funny ha-has.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and
I
I
mean,
no, go ahead.
oh no, how do you? And so, how do you walk that line? What do you do?
What do you do? And also, I feel like as the breakdown of literacy happens, and it is purposeful, and I can go on this rant for hours as a former teacher who left the field at the tip of making our population dumber and less able to comprehend anything that's going on. Um, I feel like without those like grounded, just references, I'm afraid to tell people that my favorite movie is Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was like, a Gen Zer could never watch the preview of Drop Dead Gorgeous and then respect me afterwards when I'm like, that's my favorite movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of those like hand wringing ass conversations that the youth will have. And they're gonna see that they're just painting themselves into a corner.
I worry about the future of satire all the time.
Oh, I mean, good luck to us. Like, I don't really know what to say. Like, I, this is why I don't make a lot of, this is why I'm not making a lot right now. Like, I mean, I am making a lot, but it's all visual. And it's just visuals because I don't know what to say that could possibly be helpful or understood right now. And that's not to say that ooh, I'm so smart or the kids are so dumb. They're really not. They're a very interesting and cool generation. Um or a couple of generations. They've been dealt a really horrific hand. And at least we had, I'm assuming we're in the same generation.
Yeah.
Are you a millennial?
Yes, I'm going to be
Okay.
37 on Christmas.
Oh my God, you were born on Christmas?
Yes, and that's where it all went wrong for me.
Oh, are you a Capricorn?
I am a Capricorn, and and then I'm a Capricorn like high ability eldest daughter, and you have you ever tried to compete with Jesus on a large scale?
Yeah. Have you seen my drag?
Then you know how hard of a cross that is to bear.
It feels a little rude every time I try. You're an eldest daughter too?
Oh, are you? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yes. That's why we soul connected.
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have been on a year of just like understanding how to unpack all of the eldest daughter responsibilities because I always just thought I was helpful.
Oh, like in what way? Hopeful in what way?
So I thought that I was helpful in the way that like I am very much a girl who is game. So if you say, hey Natalie, I want to completely change the entire look of my bedroom. Could you please slap some paint on the walls? And I promise I'll play the new Florence and the Machine album. So you're pretending to have a good time. I'm like, yep, because I'm game and I have boundless energy. Except for it's hard to have boundless energy now when you're 36.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
I Can I give a tip out there to all eldest daughters everywhere?
Yes.
Okay, it has worked so well for me, and I really hope my family doesn't listen to this because then they'll know my gambit. But I just what I just pretend that I can't do anything and I don't know how to do anything. And whenever they ask me to do something, I start crying. And so and I'm not a crier actually, really that much. I mean, I cry when it's appropriate, but because of that, everyone is so nice to me and they don't make me do things.
You white man weaponize incompetence them.
I think that's why men are mad at me. Is I just use their own weapons against them. Oh
Yes.
my God, Natalie, did we just unpack something here for me that's massive?
Yes, I think we solved misogyny, and I think it was, and I have said before, the best way to not be gaslit is to out gaslight the gaslighter, and people have told me, "No, Natalie," and I'm like, "Why not?"
I'm just a girl with a microphone.
I'm just trying to have fun. What do you mean I can't be like, I didn't look at your phone was sitting there. I don't like, I don't know. Why can't I? I'm smarter than them. I should get to out gaslight them. They're not even good at it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I found that so much, like so much has come out of being super aggressive in the way that I work and then playing dumb. And this is again just tips for the ladies. Um, just be super direct and what's the word, like surgically, like exactly do exactly what you want. Take the straight line there, and then be like, I don't know.
I, I've never done anything to a car ever.
I'm just a baby. I'm just an old baby.
Just it's a medical phenomenon.
These are just survival techniques, sisters. These are just survival techniques. I don't approve of it.
My survival technique that I've been forced into thanks to trauma is to lean into the ignorance that my family has about entertainment. So whenever they're like, "Can you do this tomorrow at 2?" I go, "No, I can't because I have a call." And they're like, "You have a call?" I was
Yeah.
like, "I do. And I have a project and I have a call about that project."
Yep. Yep. And that's it. That's all
And that's
it is.
it. I have a class. I have a class about a project that I have to take a call on, and I just keep saying words.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I have a meeting. There's a lot of calls. We have to spitball and such.
Natalie, for all the calls that you have, do you think at one point you're going to make money? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I cry.
See,
See?
it's just what we're just using their weapons. It really is just asserting boundaries. And that's what I found. I'm just like, for example, my parents were devastated when I told them I was going to go for drag as a career. They were devastated. They had come to see my drag shows and they were like, this is terrible. These people are not talented. They are not pretty and they are not good. I cannot believe you're surrounded by idiots. And I was like, oh my God. Like they weren't even offended by the gayness of it all. No, 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 no.
The talent,
Yeah.
the lack of talent.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Truly. And sorry to the people that I was working with. I'm sure it doesn't matter when it was. It was at a time period,
Yes.
undisclosed. But they were super upset. My mother was like, "You're casting your pearls before swine."
Put it on a t-shirt. That is exactly what I'm doing every day.
Oh, ain't that the truth, buddy? But yes, I mean, and so they were like super against it. And so what I had to do was tell my parents, I'm not talking to you until you accept me. And so then I didn't talk to any of my family for like, I think it was like 6 months for my dad, 8 months for my brother, 14 months for my mom. And then everybody was like, okay, because
Yeah.
they like hanging out with me and I like hanging out with them. So I just had to, and like it absolutely sucked. And I'm now not sure they weren't wrong, but but the thing is, I made the decision,
Yes.
and you just have to set up those boundaries because I think a lot of times they'll expect us, or the expectation for us is that we go along politely, we listen to what they have to say, we compromise, we we assuage their fears, will sort of like start to put what we want maybe in the background a little bit so that everyone can be calm and like us and feel good and feel like we're good girls doing the right thing. And at every turn, I don't know what has possessed me. And honestly, Chelsea Devontas, she's my drag daughter.
Yes, I do. Uh,
Yeah.
yes, I do. I, I hope that she like gets a little ping from the heavens every time I go. And then Chelsea Devonta said this to me
I know.
one time.
Well, she and I were in a dressing room together a couple of years ago, and she was like, wow, your mom must be an incredible feminist. And I was like, no, I had no feminists around me ever. None. My father might be the biggest feminist I knew growing up.
Yeah.
And to this day, my father's kind of rad. I don't have daddy issues. I got the mommy issues. I, I, I was not raised in any way, shape, or form to have these ideas, but they just stubbornly. This is why I believe in past lives, because why would this be inside of a little child where I was like, no, I'm going to do what I want at every turn? And I have enraged people. People have put me in the hospital. People have been in fear. Oh, I'm not even kidding. People have tried to destroy my life, my career, um, and have tried to silence me and have tried to get me to stop at every turn. And there's something inside of me that like won't stop, that's relentless. And honestly, I wish it would sometimes. I would love to just relax a little bit. You know what I mean, Natalie? Like I would love to relax, but at every turn I have been in massive pain in everyone's ass. And in terms of just like, I am here, I will take a space, you will witness me making art. You can look away if you want to, but I know you don't want to. I know you watched me, and I don't know. I don't know. I just, what do you think that impulse is? What do you think that feeling is?
I don't
Do you have
know.
that?
I do. So that's why defiance makes my heart beat. I honestly tell people I just call it my defiance disorder. Like,
I like that.
my defiance disorder where I could never be soft and I could never be chill unless it was like literally an animal or a baby. The only people who get softness out of me are like my cat, who doesn't even want it, and my nephews and babies, literal babies. Who knows what will happen to them when they're 5? I'll probably start chain smoking and be like, I don't know, figure it out. Like I had to, kid. Like,
About to figure it out like I had to.
yeah,
I don't know about you, but I figured everything out late. I wasn't told anything about womanhood, anything about menstrual cycles, anything about sex. I wasn't told anything about emotional inner life. I wasn't told anything at all. I was told nothing. Until I was almost 16, I thought that sex worked like thusly. I thought it was like a hot dog situation where you have like a bun and then you just set it on top of the. That just does not make sense. You just set it on top.
do you know where we got that? The
No,
It's
where?
the movie scene from Grease, because they're in the car in Greece and it's Danny Zuko and Olivia Newton-John Sandy, and they're watching the movie, and you watch the let's all go to the movie part and a hot dog jumps into a hot dog bun, and then they make, like, I think Danny makes a sexually explicit joke or something, so then you're like, that's how sex works.
I wonder if that was so, though. Although I doubt it, because I was raised. This is for another episode or something. I was raised in a Christian cult, so
Oh,
I wasn't allowed to watch anything modern. I had no sense of anything. So I don't. That's the other reason why I just don't engage with pop culture. Like I know about it, like an anthropologist knows about things, but I don't. I didn't have like a sense of it. So I was raised in a cult. So
we will have to do an episode about that, if only so I can know about the cult.
It's so crazy. But yes,
Is it
okay.
the same one that Bethany Joy Lenz from One Tree Hill was in? Because One Tree Hill is my whole personality.
Honey, you think I'm entirely chicer than I am. No. It was I'm so flattered that you would think that I would be in a One Tree Hill related cult. But actually it's just good old fashioned Church of Christ.
Oh, not the
Um
Church of Christ. We got Fairhaven.
oh, it's not great, guys. It's
No.
not great. But yes, okay. So the one thing that I figured out about womanhood, so because I all of that is to say was not taught anything. The one thing I figured out about womanhood is you should learn as much as you can about yourself as you get older, because old women are the most powerful beings on earth. And that is and there is a reason that they silence us. I'm not an old woman yet, but someday I will be. I'm going to be an old witch, and and there's a reason that they silence older women, that they hide them, that they disappear them, and it's because they know the most. They have the most information to impart, and so like I actually like am looking forward, though I'm in entertainment, and though my physical form is important for the type of art that I make right now,
Mhm.
um, it is my greatest desire and not fear to look ahead and to and to think responsibly about what kind of old lady I'm going to be if I get so lucky to become an old lady. That is something that I'm taking very seriously. And even when I look at women who are younger than me, I try to be gentle, generous, good, kind, thoughtful, giving them the benefit of the doubt. And can I do that perfectly? No, but do I really, really make an effort to? Absolutely. And then when I have all the women in my life who are older than me, I shut the fuck up and I listen. And that's just I'm really trying, and as I go through life and as I get older, it is incumbent upon me to have young female friends forever, to have older female friends forever, because I think that that keeps you vital and attuned to the world when you have that like reach into both ends of things. and and I think it will make me a well-rounded old lady, which I really want to be. Yes. And I want to show that you can become more powerful and more frightening and more just overwhelmingly awesome as you get older, because I especially right now I think that, and I want to know what you think about this. I'm very curious. Like the, I think that younger people right now feel like getting older is like a curse, and like it's the worst thing that could happen to them is aging. And it's like there's no other option. Hello,
Do you
but
know what I think it is?
what is that?
I think they're mostly scared that they're not going to get to.
I kind of think so too.
Yeah. Because I also have never thought of myself as an aged person. Like I'm like, "Oh, I don't think that I'll make it." And I think that's because when I was 16 my grandmother died very young. And so I was just like, "Oh, I won't outlive Peg, so I'll never see my 70s." Like I guess I've just decided that I'll carry on the tradition. I don't know. But
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's like I I think that that year was so pivotal, the year that she was sick and dying, that it's kind of like shaped all of my beliefs and thoughts, a lot of my beliefs and thoughts ever since then. And but I will tell you this, I just decided to start being a crone and a hag now. I was like, well, then I'm going to start now.
What does that mean to you?
So a couple years ago, I was a sea hag for Halloween, and people were like, we were doing ocean as a theme. And they were like, you don't want to be like a sexy like lobster or something. And I went, no, I want to be a crone. I want to be a sea hack. It feels so freeing. Older women, especially the older women in my family, they no longer speak in questions. They just take everything and they have a very definitive thought, and that is their thought. I told my Aunt Donna the day after her son died, my great Aunt Donna, I was like, "Grandma used the full moon to come and blow cigarette smoke in my face from beyond the veil because she's pissed that I didn't come yesterday and stay an extra day for the funeral." And my Aunt Donna, without missing a beat, went, "No, I know because she told me."
Oh, oh, what an interesting group of women you're from.
I
They
know.
sound awesome.
They truly do not speak in questions anymore. And my Aunt Donna is my last great aunt that I am close with, and every day I feel like I feel the clock of mortality just because of her. And I'm like, no one tell me numbers anymore. I don't want to know how old she is. She's 22. And that's math. But I think that there is a confidence to our crone age, and it's just like we have all the answers. We don't have to question it anymore.
Right? Or like we're so hooked into our intuition and and our and maybe I mean I've always thought that women were sort of hooked into I don't know if it's the divine, I don't know if it's the other side of the veil, I don't know if it's that we're connected to the tides and the moon and the whole universe and that the whole universe exists without us and within us. And and I don't know exactly what all it is, but it I don't know it. There's something there. There's a deep knowing, and I used to think actually really until 2021 I hated being a woman and I cursed it and I wished I wasn't. And honestly, I don't know. Have you ever had your past lives read?
No, but I have asked people if they do it.
So I had mine read, and it was a gift from someone because post Church of Christ stuff, I was like, no, thank you to
Yeah, not the
anything,
devil.
or just anything religious or whatever, or anything like woo woo. I was like, no, thank you. I'm going to sit here with my polite little science journal. I'm not going to say anything. I'm minding my business. Please don't put any weird stuff on me. I'm uncomfortable with all of that. I've had like too many weird coincidences since for it to not be, but there was this senora, I'll say, who read my past lives, and again, it was gifted to me. So I felt obligated to sit there for this. But then she I don't know, she said a lot of things that were I had never told anyone. It was very weird, and she told me and among those things, one thing that she told me was she was like, "This is your first lifetime as a woman," and I was like, "Yep," and it's so painful.
You were used to being respected.
Literally, that is what she said to me. She was like, "In your last life, you are very handsome, very successful, and very generous. You are a good and kind man, but your ego got you, and it prevented you from doing what you wanted to do the most, which is coming to the new world, which was America." So here we are. I 300 years later, and I'm born the first, I guess, woman in the line of souls or people that I've been, whatever that means, I don't really know. And and I will say it does this life, whether the senora was right about all of this or not, it does feel like a learning lesson lifetime.
I mean, honestly,
I want to know about dating. I haven't dated in many, many years. Is it crazy? What's going
I
on out there?
okay, so the last time I dated, I'm not even kidding you, it was a fake version of Love is Blind on Zoom for the pandemic.
What?
Yes, a Dayton sports club couldn't play sports anymore because of the pandemic. So they were like, I know, we'll try matchmaking. And they filmed us on Zoom. We kept our cameras off. And then we had um alter egos. Like we made fake names. And and we did date we blind dated, and I should never be allowed on a dating show because my whole thing is I will win this and I will destroy myself and others to do it.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I
Because you like
I'm
winning?
Yes, I'm so competitive.
Capricorn.
And I have watched so much reality TV that I know how to do it right. So I knew how to do the confessionals and the girl only rooms and like keep the storyline a moving.
Really?
Yes. So I was producing before they knew that they were supposed to be producing.
Oh, you
And
were self-producing, baby.
I was self-producing like a real housewife. Call me Andy. And, and
I love it.
And so and it's blind dating and they cannot even see you. So they're just a voice. And I was like, this is like AIM catfishing all over again. I love it. And so I would just be honest and I would tell them how I love to go to the zoo and all of the animals at the Columbus Zoo know me by voice because I chat with them. So when I walk into the exhibit, they come over because they can hear me. And it's happened 4 or 5 times that an animal has just like and walked towards me because they heard me. And I told them all about my witchiness and my love of Stevie Nicks and all of it. And I ended up partnered with the worst, like, we were on like opposite ends of every culture war that was happening in 2020.
Oh no.
And I asked him, I was like, why would you continue to want to see me and also go along with what I was talking about? Because I thought that you were interested in it. And he told me, I thought you were doing bits. I didn't think that was your real personality. And I was just happy to be picked.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's insane. I thought you were gonna talk about how like Republican or like right wing men really love a left wing girly witch. They
Because
just
they want to bring us down. I
they're
have this
like,
whole theory.
we gonna tame you, honey. You're gonna make apple pie. I don't know what people do.
We're not going to make you come, but we are going to make you see Jesus. Like, and so I don't date very often. And I think because every time I do, it's so traumatic.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely insane.
And I hate online dating. It feels like Amazon shopping.
That's what my friends say. A lot of them just stopped dating. Like, I'm saying across the ages. I have like friends who are older than me, super rich and successful, super hot. Friends that are younger than me, super rich and successful, super hot. That are like, nah. And I'm like, oh no, what's there for the rest of us? Um,
And now, and now I'm like, well, I want to date women at the ripe young age of 36. And all of the media tells us no one likes to teach an old dog new tricks, Snably. You should just get off dating apps.
no,
I know.
I don't think so. I think that I mean, maybe it could be so, but I don't think so. I think that there's a lot of like women in your position who have suffered compulsory heterosexuality, and I think that there are, and I wouldn't say that I wasn't also one. I definitely have had public male partners for most of my life, but I have had live-in serious girlfriends. And the first person I ever slept with was a girl, and then I had to be convinced and made drunk in order to sleep with a man many years later. Like, I don't think I slept with men until I was into adulthood. And so I just thought that that's like how it worked. I was like, yeah, you have your boyfriend and then you have your girlfriend. I don't know.
I don't know. And I thought probably because like I thought that like, oh, having sex with men should feel like you're playing a role or a character. I was trying to be that soft girl that we were talking about earlier. I've never been a soft girl, but every once in a while I'll be like, today I will be playing the role of a soft girl. My name is Odette, and I'll be soft and I'll be quiet and I'll be sweet like those Mormon wives on Hulu. Like,
Not a Hulu wife. Now, okay, so Odette, she's a soft girl.
yeah.
Does she have a different manners? Does she have a different way that she speaks?
Yeah, I try to put on my, because I don't really have like a very feminine voice, I don't think. I've never smoked nicotine cigarettes. And but for some reason, like, I just adopted my grandmother's, like, smoker voice.
You were like,
Good.
I didn't even need the cigarette.
No, and I used to hold a fake cigarette all the time and gesticulate with it, and finally someone asked me
I
when
did
I
too.
yeah, someone was like, "When did you quit smoking?" And I was like, "I've never smoked, why?" And they're like, "You're constantly ashing us with an invisible cigarette."
Well, don't piss me off.
And I was like, "That's just my grandmother haunting me, leave me alone."
I love that so much. That
And
is so cute.
so she'll, like, put on it's probably, like, an almost Nashville Southern accent, and, like, I just, like, lit my voice up, and I say my pleases and my thank yous, and I dress in, like I love dressing in soft colors anyways, but I'm mostly, like, a bold jewel tone girl. But, like,
Mhm.
you just, like today I just wanna go somewhere where no one knows I'm an eldest daughter who holds all of this responsibility, and I just wanna be that soft girl that the sunlight hits on the in the cafe.
I love that.
Yeah.
I
It's how it's how I get myself to write a lot of times.
really. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm just
I'm just a
this
girl
this
working
sweater
on
is.
my screenplay.
I'm just doing my little writing.
I'm just
This, but I have to pull this sweater back off my hands. It's too big
yeah.
for me.
And people laugh at me and I was like, here's the thing, if I only write from my anger, sometimes it is not funny.
But ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth? I think that there's something so comedic about horror in general. Also, horror is the new feminist. Well, I don't even think it's the new feminist genre. It's always been the most feminist genre because it gives women the power to get out of their circumstances.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I love horror.
Have such a strange relationship with horror. I don't watch it or engage with it, but a lot of my drag is horror. And like and the my proportions and the way that I built Cat Sass is actually like really scary if you look at her in if you like take her apart and look at it. And a lot of the art that I make is shock horror. I just package it so pretty that it doesn't feel that it kind of sneaks up on you. I'll say. And but the I think that the reason that I don't really watch horror, like I will. This is maybe so strange. I don't know if anyone else does this. I'm sure they must. But I will learn everything about a horror movie. I will read analyses and I'll even read scholarly journals about it, but I won't watch it.
A
So
lot of people intake horror that way.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I I don't know what it is, but I feel like it kind of leaves me to my own devices, and I don't. It's sort of like if I ate salty food all the time, I wouldn't understand the value of salt. And so I'm afraid of, and I feel this way kind of about a lot of different types of art. I'm very careful. I'm very careful about what I engage with because I'm very concerned about what's going into my brain. And because my brain internalizes things really, really deeply, and not emotionally, but intellectually. And for me, most of my work comes from my brain. My dreams. It comes from my dreams. My dreamscape is where I lucid dream. I can change my dreams. I have home bases in my dreams. I have it's I can read, write, and do math in my dreams. I have my dream life is the most important place that I go. One of the weirdest things that people tell me all the time is I visit them in their dreams all the time.
You're a
And
sleepwalker.
I that's what my
Yeah.
partner says. But my dream life is super important to me. So I try to keep what I witness visibly, what visibly comes in through my eyes. I try and keep it really chill. I don't know how else to say that and also what I hear and what I listen to, because I don't want my brain to be tainted too much by what I engage with. And I know that probably sounds weird. Now that I'm now that I'm saying it out loud, so it's not just horror. It's like a lot of stuff. It's a lot of television. It's a lot of like various things. If I start to feel the ick, I just turn it right off. I don't need to engage with it anymore. I don't want it in my brain. And it's not that I have trouble engaging with difficult things. My favorite films, my favorite pieces of music, my favorite media, those are really, a lot of them are very, very difficult things. One of my favorite movies I've ever seen is a movie called The Nightingale, and it is almost impossible to watch. It's so hard to watch, but it's so exquisite and it's so incredible that like, so I guess what all of that is to say, I try and be really, really, really careful about what I put in my brain the same way I am about what I put in my body. I I don't I don't and I think that that is what, as I've gotten older, and let me know if you engage with this, if this makes, like, if this resonates with you. As I've gotten older, I notice that I have to keep widening the path of my art and my brain. Otherwise, I think that I could be in danger of repetition of ideas in a way that doesn't have new and fresh iterations. And I think that when you look at like other artists, a lot of artists, we will just be like, "Oh, you guys like this? Cool. Okay, great. I'm going to do it again in different ways." And I'm like, let me try and avoid that as much as possible and challenge myself to create, to just create something that feels fresh and new, to me, that I'm interested in engaging with, and not think so much about my audience right now.
Yeah.
I've always, okay, are you the type of artist that you think about your audience, or you think about what you're doing,
So I
if that
most
makes sense?
so I've been taking a lot of screenwriting courses that are kind of like anarchist, where they're like, don't even worry about what Hollywood has ever liked or the structures or anything. And I am a little bit like, because I'm defiant, I'm like, yeah, I never have to worry about if I'm saving the cat or whatever. Fuck that guy. Like,
Fuck that cat.
fuck that cat. So I think that it's always my perspective first, and then I clean it up for like, okay, but was that joke just a joke for me, or will it actually land for an audience? Especially because I write and I create so much from my own like lived experience. Um,
How do you determine that though?
how do I determine what my lived experience writing
No,
from?
how do you determine if it will, if something you write is just for you, or if it might land anyways?
I mean, well, have you ever been in a situation where you're telling a really funny story to you, and then you look up and everyone is like, "No, Natalie, that's trauma. You need to go to a doctor." Like, so
Yeah.
sometimes it's that, but also sometimes it's like, because I'm writing from my lived experience, I always have to walk that path of like, am I getting so intense about making sure I tell the story right and true? Or did I make sure to punch it up and make it actual fiction to where it is a story and not just like an anecdote from my past? Or like, I really wanted to get Aunt Rose's joke in here and I built an entire scene around it. Does that even make sense?
I get it.
Just to say one thing that my aunt said one time.
It's just some of it. I think sometimes I used to think that none of it should be for me, and now I'm like, oh, something here should be for me.
No, I think it should all be for us.
You
I
think
think,
so?
yeah. I think when it's actually for us, I think of it like, okay, so on Tuesday, I went to the Music Box Theater for the first time in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
And I went and saw an independent film, and it's called Dead, and E is in parentheses. And it was written by, and it starred Izzy Rowland, who is a comedian out of my favorite niche interest, Dropout TV. And I went mostly because like I love Dropout TV and I love Izzy Rowland and her husband and the work that they do in improv comedy. but I also knew that it would serve as a comp for the dead grandma feature that I'm trying to write. And the story of this movie is that a a woman's father dies and she hasn't been in contact with him for a while, and he starts haunting every person in her family, even like loosely connected to her family, but her, she cannot see him. And everyone's like, "I'm sure that's fine, Tilly." That's who cares that you can't see him, and it's a dark comedy. And
Mhm.
you could tell, and Izzy's mom directed and starred in it. And then Vic McAllis, their good friend from Dropout TV, was their sister. And then Brennan, her husband, was in it. Her grandparents were in it, and her stepdad was in it, and a producer on it. And I was like, what a beautiful, like, dream way to honor the lived experience that you put into a fictionalized version of your story. And she full out says that, like, her mom had this idea when Izzy's father passed away. And Izzy said eventually, "Hey, can I take that scene that you had in your head after dad passed away? And you thought, wouldn't it be funny if I started seeing him in mirrors and actually make it my story and take your idea and run with it?" And I mean, it's a really great film, and I was so happy that to get to see it. But always wonder, I'm like, I wonder how much of this is like Izzy and her family's lived experience, and how much of it is just like processing for her. And I
Oh, of
and
course.
I her voice was so prevalent in it, and it was so personal, and everyone was laughing, and everyone was so happy to be there. And I was like, I think it's the best when it's for us. I think that comes through. We have run over.
Oh.
What are you doing with your life tonight? In case you got to run off somewhere. But
I do have to go do some stuff,
yeah.
but yeah, and I'm getting ready for my birthday party tomorrow.
Yes. Happy birthday. Can we do our two closing out traditions and then we'll plug and we'll be done?
Yeah.
All right. If you wanted to give anyone a lesson about misogyny or living under misogyny or drag as a community or anything from our conversation, and just be like, hey, everyone, this is the thing you should remember from me. What would be something that you needlepoint on a pillow or put on a t-shirt?
Do drag for yourself.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ain't no community. There's not.
Yeah.
Community, the right community for you is the community you build. That 100%. And people in show business are not your friends.
Except for you and I. We're friends now.
No, I mean, I know this is sounding so dark, but I really want women to, I want people that listen to us, to this, to, to be cautious and careful with themselves in the sport of drag, because drag makes you feel like you can go in there wholeheartedly, jump in, both feet, everybody's friends. We're all friends now, aren't we? And it really isn't. There's a lot of, there's, no. But you will find lifelong friends there, and you will find people that you can love forever and make art with forever. And that's pretty profound. But you shouldn't do it for a TV show. You shouldn't do it for acceptance. You shouldn't do it for spite. You should do it for yourself, because it brings you joy, because it makes you feel connected to your spirit, to art, to your queerness, whatever.
What is something that you'd like to manifest for the common universal energy?
I think that it would be, I think that things would massively improve if women were in positions of power. And so I would like to manifest positions of power for women, and a radical change of the structures that we live in, because the structures that we live in are harmful to women, and they're harmful to men. They're harmful to everyone. They're not working, and we know that. And is, I think it's a bit of that sunk cost fallacy situation, right? You invested in this, you're part of the American experience, you're wanting to, to make it work, to not believe that things are as they are. But I think a good dose of eyes open and ears open, and moving women into positions of power would be really behoove us. And by women, I mean all women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll just tag on to that too. And then thank you so much for your time tonight and for being just when I say, and I wasn't even going to brag about the movie because I feel weird talking about it. Like, who am I? I'm just a girl who went to Alabama. But when I say that you were such an anchoring force for all of us Wazoos who did not know what we were doing, and that your voice was so melodic and beautiful, and like it was just you were so kind and open and warm to all of us, and I really appreciated you being part of my first movie experience.
Oh, well, may it be the first of many. May we work together again. I
Yes,
wish all of that for us.
I wish all of that for us, and I'd love to come to Chicago and have dinner if you're up for it.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
love dinner. I'm
I
a
love
big dinner
dinner.
girl.
Kat, tell everyone where they can find you.
You can't.
Sometimes that has been it, where it's like, don't try.
No, you can't find me. And don't try, peasant. I don't know. My social media is at kat.sass. I'm making a bunch of stuff, but I don't want to talk about it. So it's a
Okay.
secret.
I love secrets. So you have to follow to figure out the secrets. And
Mhm.
we're at Men I've Tolerated Pod on Instagram and NadleyK124 on TikTok, if TikTok still exists. And remember, tolerators, you don't have to smile through anything you're tolerating, including a bunch of bullshit going on in 2025 that makes you feel like art is impossible to make and that you shouldn't be making anything about you. Make everything about you. Smiles are for joy.